there remains little to directly inform us about the mindset of the 1941 boys during their formative Regis years. Fortunately, within the Regis archive are some of their thoughts preserved in articles and essays. Those writings allow us to glean insights on events that triggered their belief systems, as well as the boys' consciousness of issues they believed were urgent. There's a saying that journalism is the first draft of history. In the 1930s, Regis ran two periodicals, The Owl and the Regis Quarterly, both being invaluable for research on Regis's past. The Owl was relatively newer, having been launched in 1938, the year before the class of 1941 arrived as freshmen. It was published 6 times a year at the end of each marking period. The Owl was modeled as a traditional school newspaper with articles on school events, announcements, and editorials on contemporary issues. In his senior year, Alan Cameron would be appointed the Owl's chief editor. He was a leading member of the Hearn debate team in his first 3 years at Regis, but as a senior, Alan decided to fully dedicate his time to further establishing the newspaper. The Regis Quarterly, or just the Regis, produced 3 issues in journal form, with the school yearbook making up the 4th quarterly publication. The Regis specialized in Regian's literary works and opinion essays. In those early decades, such journals were considered a prestigious medium for high schoolers. It was the primary means for thought pieces and creative works to be disseminated broadly amongst peers, alumni, and supporters. There were also courtesy exchanges of similar publications with other high schools. From the class of 1941, the fiery Joseph Landy would be the editor-in-chief of the Regis Quarterly. He was very active at school and was fortunate to have the benefit of living the closest to Regis, as his home was only a block away on 83rd Street right across Park Avenue. By the time Joe Landy was a junior, he was known to eagerly leap into robust but good-natured intellectual arguments with teachers. As a student, Joe aspired to travel the world and had ambitions to become a college professor. He had a profound passion for poetry and literature and developed a reputation at Regis for his prose. It wasn't surprising to his peers that responsibility for shepherding the Regis Quarterly would fall upon him. Amongst other senior writers at the Regis Quarterly was Joseph Duffy. The only son of a clerk at a trolley company, Joseph Duffy shared some of the notable traits of his editor-in-chief, Joe Landy. He was described as a spark plug who wouldn't hesitate to strongly assert opinions to the very patient and tolerant teachers at Regis. At Regis, he displayed a strong fervor towards national politics. As an upperclassman, he was a vocal supporter of Wendell Willkie, the anti-isolationist Republican presidential nominee who ran against Franklin D. Roosevelt. Joseph Duffy swam against the tide of popular opinion and was ardent that the United States could not afford to be neutral amidst the growing carnage in Europe. He was also a prolific and accomplished writer. The Regis Quarterly would be his first platform upon which he shared and magnified his political perspectives, essays, and poetry. Many today don't know of Joseph Duffy, but he would become one of Regis's most consequential alumni.